Hello guys, and welcome to this week's edition of AI Governance Weekly with myself, Gavin. And this is where we're basically going to break down AI governance stories, which can be sometimes a bit too formal, boring, dry, and a bit confusing in this changing regulatory landscape. So whether you're a small business, a student, someone studying for a certificate in AI governance, you've got an interest in AI governance in general, when this show's for you. I myself am certified in the AI Governance Professional Certificate from the IAPP, and I started out with just a general interest in AI, and then, well, how's this going to be regulated kind of thing. So I just want this to be a sort of chilled show where we discuss events that are happening in the news and see what implications they have for you, myself, and the rest of the world. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at Italy in particular. Now, Italy has just become the first EU country with its own AI law, and it could change how you use ChatGPT, how your doctor diagnoses you, and whether your kid can access AI chatbots. So here's what's actually happened and what it means for you. So on September the 17th, Italy's Senate gave final approval to the Senate Bill 1146B, and it was passed in with 77 votes in favour and 55 against, which is, it's not too far apart. That makes Italy now the first EU member state with a national AI law, which is quite interesting. This isn't actually a replacement for the EU AI Act as such, but think of it like this. The EU set the speed limit. Italy just added some local traffic rules for its own roads kind of thing. As most of you would know already, and some of you may not, that the EU AI Act was passed in June 2024. I think it was actually passed on my birthday on the 14th. I could be wrong though, but it was around that time, June 2024, and it goes fully live in August 2026. Italy didn't want to wait, so they basically built their version now. Both of the laws work together and they're not working against each other. So what does this mean for everyday people in Italy and across Europe, you may ask? Well, first, if you're under 14, you now need parental consent to use AI tools, things like ChatGPT, Claude, image generators, or any AI-powered application. You don't get any parent approval, then you're not getting any access. Secondly, doctors and employers must tell you when AI is involved. So if your doctor uses AI to help diagnose you, they must say so. And the final medical decision still rests with the human doctor, thank God. At work, your boss has to disclose if AI is monitoring your performance. You can see right across the board with AI that transparency really is the aim of most of these regulations here, with such mysterious technology and, businesses not really understanding how to implement it into their workplace. We are in a real experimental phase at the moment, and transparency is going to be the key thing to avoid any sort of non-compliance with regulations and anyone getting into deep trouble, basically. So again, like most regulations around the world, Italy is also focusing on transparency, and that appears to be the name of the game throughout. Third of all, AI decisions must have human oversight and be traceable, which means no black box algorithms making life-changing calls without any explanation. And also, if AI denies your loan or flags your resume, someone human has to be accountable. And I think we can all agree that that's still super important. The AI thing is obviously good for certain things, filtering out, the obvious uneligible candidates, you might say, things like that, if we're talking about jobs. But also, it's not perfect, and it doesn't know character. It doesn't know these small intricacies about us yet. So, I still agree with this, that, if I'm being denied for a loan or a job, I'd still like to know why, rather than this machine just taking sort of a disliking to my resume or my financial history, so to speak. So how does all this work? Now let's talk enforcement, because Italy really isn't messing around here. There's two agencies that will run the show. You've got the Agency for Digital Italy, called AGID, And you've also got the National Cybersecurity Agency, or ACN. Now, they'll handle inspections, investigations, and penalties. And those penalties are serious if you create and spread harmful deepfakes. You face 1 to 5 years in prison, perhaps. And if AI helps you to commit fraud or identity theft, your sentence can go up by 1/3. For companies, fines can hit 35 million euros or 7% of global revenue, whichever is higher. And actually, Italy's already shown that it will act in the past. For example, in 2023, they suspended ChatGPT for breaking privacy rules. And in January of this year, they banned the Chinese AI model Deepfake, and they also fined OpenAI 15 million euros, which is currently under appeal. So we can see the Italians they're not messing around here. They're not scared to get their hands dirty, so to speak, and put a stake in the ground. The law also tackles copyright in AI-generated content. For example, if a human puts genuine creative effort into an AI-assisted work, it's protected. But if the AI just spits something out with no human input, it's unclear. The law allows text and data mining for AI training also, but only if it's lawful. You can't scrape copyrighted stuff without permission, which I think is common sense. And also, Italy's putting its money behind this too. They've set aside up to 1 billion euros from a state venture fund, and that money goes to small and medium businesses working in AI, cybersecurity, and quantum tech. It's not all kind of positive though, because some critics are saying that 1 billion is modest, a modest amount of money compared to the US and Chinese investment. But still, I think at the pace this industry is developing and changing, I think that's it's a start, let's say. So, what should you be watching out for? Italy's law takes effect around 15 days after it's published in the official Gazette, and that should happen by around now, early October 2025, so the next few days, few weeks. And the government then has 12 months to finalise detailed implementation rules. So watch for those deadlines around, sometime this month. And you should also keep an eye on other EU countries. Italy's just basically set the blueprint. If this works and the results are largely positive, we could also most likely expect France, Germany, Spain, and other neighbouring countries to follow with their own versions of the EU AI Act, which again becomes, should I say, fully enforceable in August 2026, so not long now. So between now and then, we can expect a wave of national laws across Europe, I'd assume. So what actions can we take? Well, if you're a parent, you can check the age requirements on AI apps the kids use. If you're seeing a doctor, ask if AI is part of your diagnosis. And if you work with AI tools, make sure you know the rules in your country. Italy's law is a big deal because it's the first of its kind in the EU, and it shows that countries won't wait for Brussels to act. And it puts real teeth behind AI oversight with jail time and massive fines. So thank you for watching this short video, and please like and subscribe for more.